Welcome once again to WSA Snocross on ESPN Speed World. It's the Ski-Doo Challenge from Grand Geneva Resort in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. And here in Lake Geneva, you can see there's snow on the ground, at least on the track. WSA has done a nice job of making snow available for the racers here today, and what has been an incredibly tough winter for everybody. Here's the qualifying results, Greg.
Yeah, from the 2 rounds of qualifying, you can see that Morgan finds himself with the only undefeated run here. A couple of guys, Hibbert and Mike Island, look very strong, first and seconds. That's your top 10 that are going to go right to the final. It's going to be a good one.
So looking ahead to the Pro Stock Featherlight Pro Stock Final, which is coming up from Lake Geneva. Welcome back to WSA competition at the Grand Geneva Resort, Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, the Ski-Doo Challenge. And coming up, it's Inside Cross with Greg Kramer. Inside Cross is brought to you by Ride FX. Ride hard. We can take it.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Inside Cross. We're in the staging area here in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, at Grand Geneva, and it's very tense. The reason is that points championships are on the line with just 2 races to go. This is Tucker Hibbert's sled. He has the lead in both Pro Stock and Open. He's got a 27-point lead in Stock, 25-point lead in Open. Seems insurmountable. Can Blair Morgan have a shot at this? You bet he can, and here's why. The way the points work, if you enter an event and show up, you get 10 points. Then, got 2 qualifying rounds, and if you win each of those heats, you get 10 points apiece. So at the end of qualifying, if you're on form, you can already have amassed 30 points. Then in the final, if you win that, it's another 25. So there's 55 points on the line with 2 races to go. That's 110 points. If Tucker has one little bobble like Morgan did earlier in the year, that points margin can evaporate, and Morgan can be right in the hunt.
So it's the Pro Stock Final. Tucker Hibbert, can he continue to ride on form? Can he come away with a championship in Pro Stock this year? Well, if anybody's going to have anything to say about that, it's going to be his nemesis on the Ski-Doo, Blair Morgan.
It's pretty simple here, really. For this race and the final race, Morgan's got to win everything, and he needs a little help from Tucker. And you've got guys like Mr. Amasalo who can be the spoiler here.
We look at the starting grid. It is a course with significant character. Crowd here loves the competition. They're ready for the Pro Stock Final. The launch from the far right of the line.
Ekstrom. Oh, and he timed that beautifully. Somebody off the top
right
of the
side. Ekstrom times well, but look at Morgan coming down the hill now.
Is that tape that just went off to the inside of the track? Oh, he's going to be buried back in the pack.
Finally, he comes back on behind the entire field. Battle up at the front.
So rough and choppy now. Once they get out of this turn, look at those holes they're working through, Paul, into this last hairpin. Tight inside. It's really rough in there, but it's a lot shorter. Boy, Morgan making up a lot of ground on Ekstrom.
So at the fight at the front, Ekstrom and Morgan. Remember, the Amsoil team has had a marvelous season this year. They're coming on very strong. Now here comes Morgan. Morgan goes high. Then he comes back down to the inside. Comes up, puts a ski just behind Ekstrom.
He tried to ramp up and then to get the drive down the hill. Right there, he showed him the nose, but Ekstrom covered. I think Morgan might be a little leery of trying to be too aggressive with Dennis, because remember a couple races ago he tried to pass Ekstrom, shut the door. But that was as clean as it gets.
There you go. Just around and into the lead for Blair Morgan. Ekstrom back to second. Island, Crapo, and Hibbert round out the top 5.
I was talking about Blair being a little careful, because if he gets crashed out, his shot at any championship is gone. But he couldn't wait too long. As I said, he's really got to score every possible point. Look at him carry that in the air. And that's a stocker, Paul. That's not even the mods. Floating, airborne, starting to get the turn set up before he even lands the sled. Unbelievable.
When you watch Blair Morgan, especially on a circuit like this, it's watching an artist. Of course, that's true for almost everybody in the field. Ekstrom currently second. Now we look back. Here comes Crapo. There's Mike Island. And Tucker Hibbert.
Hibbert again, bad start, buried a little bit. And Mike Island, this has sort of been a breakthrough weekend in a way for qualifying. He had that win in a second in his qualifying heats. Haven't seen that form from him for a while. He's definitely back on it once again. But Hibbert up through the back of the pack, and this is crucial. He's got to be able to keep accruing some points. He can't let Morgan get too far out in front.
It's been a breakout year for a number of guys, both of the M-Soil racers, for example. Mike Island's been looking great this year. Tommy Amasalo, he's been looking very strong. It's been an interesting season that way. A lot of new stars coming on.
Well, we've seen more parity, and I think it's because the sleds, as we watch this great battle, Hibbert trying to figure out a way to get around Island. We've seen the sleds now far more equal with the changes Polaris made, and obviously the improvements for Cat and Skidoo. These are all very good sleds and all very good riders.
Great shot there of Tucker Hibbert as he works on Mike Island. Just ahead of Island is Crapo, and Crapo's working hard on DJ Ekstrom.
That's the first time. Did he make it? You bet. I was going to say, Paul, it's the first time I've seen somebody go to that outside line in the hairpin. It's really smooth. It's long, but you can get such great exit speed. Tucker made it pay.
So Tucker Hibbert makes one move forward as he gets around Island and now chases Crapo. Blair Morgan, 2 Pro Stock wins this season. Certainly looking at one here today as he leads DJ Ekstrom. There's Crapo, and here comes Tucker Hibbert.
Almost hard to believe with only 2 races to go in a 10-race season that Morgan's only got 2 wins in this class. Remember, this is the class where he missed the final completely due to that black flag in New York during the LCQ. So he sort of put himself behind the 8 ball a bit.
And it's been a category that in past years he's been the master and the sole owner of.
Well, of course, he won the championship in this class last year with an absolutely dominant season. And let's not forget, the year before that, he swept both of the Pro Championship. So this definitely is a little different season for one Blair Morgan.
Of course, for Morgan, bit of change in equipment. He's over on the Skidoo now. Let's look back further. Ekstrom.
Oh, Kurt Crapo got by Dennis Ekstrom and is now up into second. Ekstrom back to third, and there's Hibbert. So Kurt Crapo having a very strong race indeed.
Mike Island sits back. He's just coming off the corner now behind Tucker Hibbert. Watching Crapo with Ekstrom behind him. Crapo now beginning to pull away a bit.
You mentioned the breakthrough season for the AMSOIL team. Of course, they got that new shop and their test track. They've really been working on it. Ekstrom had a win prior to joining the AMSOIL team, but this year, Justin Tate's 2 wins have really told you what Steve Shearing's Shearing Speed Sport team has been able to achieve, even with Ekstrom slipping back to third right now. Here's Tucker. Boy, he would love to pick up third, just pad that points a little bit. He's going to lose a few points to Morgan here if he finishes behind him, but if he can finish third, maybe even second, that's going to set him much, much better for that final round.
You know what seems to have helped a lot? Once Winter X Games became part of this whole aura of snowcross, it seems that the whole level of professionalism came up because it was much closer to the mainstream now and everybody was interested.
Boy, yeah, you're absolutely right. I'm sorry, but right there, Hibbert almost came off his sled. He hit one of those big holes back there, and it roughed him up just a little bit. He lost a lot of ground. But you're absolutely right, because it gave it a marquee event, one that everybody could really shoot for. Got a lot of manufacturer and non-endemic sponsors involved in it. Up the ante. It's that simple. I was going to say, Paul, look at Morgan. Look at that form.
Oh! Morgan dumps it! Rolls the sled over on top of him. Morgan dumps it in the lead.
Wow, I thought he was going to showboating a little bit, and maybe it got away from him. Of course, it may have just plain got away from him. And interesting, I was just going to point out, we've heard Morgan complain earlier this season on the smooth tracks that's not what he likes. This track is tailor-made for Morgan, even though, as we take a look at this replay, it got away from him a little bit. This is the top, that quick 180. Now down he goes, and right here I thought, he's showboating, going to throw a little whip. But look how it got away, and it landed, and it it gave out on him. It just gave out, and that inside just sort of caved in, and it rolled him right over. But look at this. I don't think his tether even came unconnected. That sled's still running.
And by the way, nobody got past him while he was rolling over on the ground. Look how smart he is, though, to bring his knees up and protect himself from the sled when it comes over.
Yeah, now watch this. It's going. There's what you said. He's already protecting right there. And it actually, that let the sled just sort of roll over, used his knees as a brace, almost ended up back on the track. He straightened up, took off, and he had a big enough lead. You're right, nobody able to get by him. Now we drop back a little bit in the back. Look at this. Hibbert now has re-caught that battle in front of him.
Tucker Hibbert with 2 Pro Stock wins this season. He is up and beginning the fight. Morgan, of course, his advantage has ebbed away a little bit, though he still remains in the lead. Tucker uses the inside line, and Tucker is side by side and is around Ekstrom.
So Hibbert finds himself now up in 3rd, and that is huge for the points. And Hibbert's success this year has really been super consistent. He's been quick. He's certainly won some races, but he has always been at the front and accrued some points. As I said, Morgan has even missed finals, and that's where you lose those big points. But getting back to this track, for Morgan to come in, he's got this race and, of course, the finale, which is going to come on this same track. For Morgan's love of ultra-rough tracks, the end of the season couldn't be more tailor-made for him. I really think that there's a little bit of pressure on Tucker here. He's got the lead, but this is Blair Morgan type racing.
Yeah, I'd say all the pressure right now is on Tucker. Blair is out in front, and well out in front despite that rollover. Here comes Tucker as he begins to challenge Kurt Crapo. Comes down to the inside. He's got Crapo.
That was just a case he landed in a little bit smoother area off that jump and landed hard on the throttle.
But look at that interval. Look the distance between now second place Tucker Hibbert and the leader Blair Morgan. And I was just thinking, I was replaying in my mind the rollover. You know that Morgan never let go with his right hand, despite the fact that sled's flipping over on him.
Well, I think he realized that it was close enough that his tether wasn't going to come undone, which automatically kills the spark to the sled. So if he kept his hand on the throttle, he was going to stay out there. And I mean, look at the margin as he takes the white flag. You pointed out, even with that rollover, he has dominated this one.
So the white flag indicating the final lap for Blair Morgan's been shown. The battle continues. Well, now back at 3rd place, and a good fight this is between Crapo and Ekstrom.
Crapo did not want to go to that outside line, but he carried in a little bit too much speed into that hairpin, it looked like, and he realized if he tried to make that turn, he may have tipped over that berm, so he straight-lined it, dropped to that outside line, but it cost him the spot. Ekstrom has fought back now up into 3rd place, but, you know, we've been talking about Morgan in the dominant run, but again, Hibbert had to come from deeper in the pack, and he's done exactly what he has to do as well, minimize that point loss to Morgan.
So there is second place Tucker Hibbert with both Ekstrom and Crapo closing down on him. I don't think they're going to get near him by the line. And let's see if he's going to show off here.
A little whip.
Yeah, he kind of had his early shown off, and it didn't work that well. So Blair Morgan takes the victory. Tucker Hibbert second place now with a quick wave to the crowd. And DJ Ekstrom goes from the lead in the early going back to 3rd place. So Pro Stock now complete with Blair Morgan as the winner, despite a rollover in the mid-race. There's second place Hibbert and 3rd place Ekstrom.
Just an unbelievable save by Morgan, and there are the official results. Now, of course, Morgan, as we said, doing what he needed to do. But Tucker Hibbert, when we take a look now at the final point swing here, look at that, 23 points. Had Hibbert not made it into the top 5, that could have been down to 15 or even less, making it a lot much easier for Morgan going into the final round.
So with Tucker Hibbert leading in the points, there is just one more race to go in Pro Stock to determine the championship. We'll be back to talk with Blair Morgan in a moment. You roll it over while in the lead. Don't let go of the sled, and you go on to win. It could only be done by Blair Morgan. Jerry?
Now, Blair, it's always exciting to watch you race. But when you get out front and hole shot, it could be boring. So you threw in what was that, like a little barrel roll or something?
Yeah, I threw that in there just to make it a little more exciting. And yeah, I know, I just kind of came in there, kind of pitched me a little bit off the face. It's really a sharp landing, and I just nosed in, just kind of rolled over me on the berm, and I just went with it. I already was holding it up, so I just continued on with it, and then still running. Basically, my feet didn't come out of the stirrups, so I just went with it.
You had such a lead, though. You had time to pull that freestyle off and still take the checkers here.
Yeah, I had a pretty big lead there at the beginning of the race, and I kept on going, and yeah, I could trash, I think, and still go, and I obviously proved it.
Hey, 2 days here at Lake Geneva.
Oh, I love it. I love this track. It's finally a real Snocross track. It's really rough. It's nice and warm out. Huge holes, big doubles, and definitely, it shows who the best rider is and who the best sled is.
Okay, kids love to watch you work. Congratulations.
Thanks, Jerry.
Yeah, the Air Force calls that a victory roll, but Tucker Hibbert, he's still the man that's leading in the points championship with now just one to go, Jerry.
Hey everybody, let's meet young Tucker Hibbert, the young gun who just won't stay in the back of the pack. You don't like it back there. You want to be up front, so that's where you go. No matter where you start, you head to the front.
Yeah, definitely. I want to be up front as much as I can, and keep getting terrible starts, so that means I got to come from behind. So just rode as hard as I could.
Talk about the Lake Geneva track. This place rocks.
Yeah, it's rough. The downhills are gnarly. Everything's just crazy. So it's different than what we're used to. We finally got snow, so it's kind of nice for a change.
You like battling up to the front?
Not really. I wish I was battling at the front, but I guess you got to go through the other guys to get to the front. But it was all right. Just getting roosted, a lot hard to see and hard to find a rhythm, but it felt good.
All right. Thanks for coming. Like your work. Good job. Are you going to shave by the end of the year?
Maybe. We'll see.
Sometime before the end of this season, I'm going to understand the nature of Jerry Bernardo. Tucker Hibbert, Blair Morgan, they battle for the championship with one race to go and a 23-point spread.
And remember, DJ Ekstrom fighting back to that third with Tate going off early has really opened up his margin in third.
Oh, Blair Morgan, the winner. Tucker Hibbert. Oh, come on, Tucker. Mom told you never to do that. I'm sure of that. Well, don't forget, WSARacing.com is where you can ask your question of the week. Here's Jerry.
Hi, my name's Jerry. This is my friend Blair, 7C. It's question of the week time. Jason from Jersey asks, how did you get your number?
Well, I was number 7. It's always been my lucky number, and went to the first race, and somebody else had number 7, so they wanted me to put a big 7X on it, and that's like, no way, X, that's pretty squiddy, so Jamie Ansu, my team manager, thought I put 7C on there for Canada, so I just went with that, and it's been good luck the whole time.
Carl Shabitsky, question of the week, Carl. How did you get your number? Did you pick it? What's the story on 96?
Actually, I started out with number 69, then I got a little too much flack for it, so I went to 96.
I could run 69.
Yeah, you definitely could get away with it, but
It's not really your style. You know?
Yeah.
What word rhymes with Shabitsky?
I have no...
I stumped you!
Yeah, you did.
Way back when I started racing, I started at 19. Then I moved to semi-pro, and they made us have triple-digit numbers, so I went to 190. And then when you go pro, they let you have a 2-digit number, so we picked 90. Pretty boring.
Tough guys don't need Band-Aids. You're just supposed to let that thing just bleed.
Yeah.
Noah Kohansky, number 37. How'd you get that? Did you pick it? What's the scoop?
1 year was motocross, and I got stuck with 37, and I'm like, I like that number. It's a low number. It's not like 99 or 100,000, and 1 or something.
I'm glad you gave me a nice short answer. Thank you. Team Amsoil, I have deep questions for you guys. This is a doozy. How'd you get your number?
My number, I just picked it.
What about you? Is it more exciting?
For motocross, just like I was 208, and then I moved up, and I was 28. I just took it from there and went to Snocross with it.
Number 25? Number 28. What's my number?
I forget.
Whatever.
Welcome back to Lake Geneva on a great weekend. No Kohansky having some fun, pitching out souvenirs for the fans. In fact, everybody's having a great time here.
And why not? Absolutely beautiful weather, and the crowd knows this is a special weekend, Paul. One of the reasons being, it's a rare double whammy weekend, if you will, with the rescheduling of the race from Gaylord.
Look down on beautiful Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, the Grand Geneva Resort. At the circuit that is the challenge for the final 2 events of the WSA season.
And it is proven to be one of the more challenging of all the tracks that we have seen. And again, all around it, Paul, it is brown. I'll tell you, the folks here at Grand Geneva and Mountaintop Ski Resort, just brilliant what they've been able to do to keep the snow alive.
And they're getting their money's worth today with the dual event. There is Blair Morgan, ready for this Pro Open run. He is second in Pro Open points. Who's he behind? Oh, take a guess. How about 68? Tucker Hibbert, current points leader.
Same scenario. Obviously, Morgan, he knows what he has to do. It's simple. He's got to win, and he needs help from Tucker. Tucker's got to give up points. That's the only way it's going to happen, and he has to give up some fairly big chunks. Noel Kohansky, pretty good season on the big open sleds, especially in qualifying action, so he sits in the top 5. But you know what? Something about Noel Kohansky, too, as well as being a very fast racer, he is a tremendous sportsman and a great spokesman for the sport. Let's go back to the third time that we appeared in Canterbury for that Midwest National, and Carl Schibitsky had a big crash, and it involved, right here he goes over, and there is Noel Kohansky, who literally, right there, you see Noel's sled went up and over Carl. Did Noel continue to race while others may have? No. He went right back and looked after his friend and teammate to make sure that he was going to be okay. An absolutely great sportsman is Noel Kohansky. The question is, how's Carl Schibitsky? Well, Jerry asked him.
You got planted. We have it on tape. Are you all right?
Yeah, you know, I'm still a little bit recovering and stuff like that, but I feel like I've kind of gotten back to normal, about 100%. And it was just a bad crash, and I don't want to see it on video. That looked too bad.
You don't want to see it, but I'll tell you what happened in case you didn't see it. Carl got run over by a mod sled that weighs a lot, has 170 horsepower with big spikes on the bottom, right over and just shredded the back of your whole coat open. There was no 96 on the back of your coat.
No, there was nothing left in my coat or my tech vest. It was pretty much done after that. I was in La La Land for a couple days there.
Let's just talk about that, the tech vest. You guys, I mean, safety equipment is the #1 deal. It's a dangerous sport. You got run over by a mod and basically lived with just a few stitches.
Yeah, I know. I escaped it with minor injuries. I mean, that tech vest really saved me. I mean, those studs could have came through my back and really caused some damage.
Glad that Carl's okay and that Noel Kohansky is such a sportsman. Bud Light, Pro Open final. There's the starting grid. There's the front row. Keep an eye on Hibbert and Morgan. There's the second row, determined by the LCQ.
This is so crucial. Now remember, these are the big bore mod sleds, 800cc, heavily modified engines and chassis, some of the trickiest stuff on snow, and they're about to launch. Love that sound. Oh, look at Morgan in the back, too.
Morgan and Hibbert come out together while Chris Vincent failed.
Tough break for Vincent. Obviously got parked in that contact right off the line, and oh, that's Trevor John.
Trevor John off of his sled, so within the first couple of corners, we've got 2 incidents, and at the front, the 2 contenders, Blair Morgan leading Tucker Hibbert.
Tucker Hibbert finally gets a good start. Who beats him up the hill? Morgan. He cannot buy a break. But on the other hand now, all he's got to do, I mean, obviously if he can get by Morgan and win it, that's going to help him immensely in that points championship battle, Paul. But now he knows, instead of having to fight by 10 guys to get close to Morgan, he just has to look at that 7C for the whole race. As much as that might hurt, that's going to do a world of good for that championship.
Morgan, there is Hibbert, DJ Ekstrom. And then Noel Kohansky now beginning to challenge Ekstrom.
What a great day Ekstrom is having. Strong in qualifying, that big podium finish in Pro Stock, and now back in the podium position here early in Pro Open.
You know, Ekstrom's starting to close down on Hibbert. Hibbert's going to have to goose it.
Here are those big holes. Did you see that? I mean, you can't even see the sleds there, Paul. When they drop into those holes, then they double over a couple back in. It's immense, the depth of these big whoops and canyons here.
Yeah, there's no course quite like the run at Lake Geneva. Morgan now inches away from Tucker Hibbert.
Good look there at Tomi Amasalo, who has been such a revelation this season coming over from Europe. And just a great job. You talked about there's nothing quite like the course here in Geneva. There's nothing quite like watching Morgan on the course at Geneva. It is tailor-made to his skills, and nobody gets through the rough stuff like Blair.
So Greg, speculate for a moment, if you would, as we watch DJ Ekstrom in third, on Tucker Hibbert and what his drive and motivation needs to be. Does he just want to keep Morgan in view, or does he want to get around? I mean, he's got a pad here.
Well, I mean, if he can, he'd love to get by him, but what he's got to remember to do is not make that pass with a lot of risk. And you know Morgan, he's going to defend. Morgan's got to win these things.
I'd say passing Morgan, if I'm Hibbert, passing Morgan for the lead is an inherent risk.
Well, exactly, and that's what he's got to be leery of. I mean, if Morgan, for some reason, makes a mistake, gives him a big hole, whatever, sure. But if you get up close, you know Morgan's going to lean on you, he's going to rub you, he's going to rough you up to keep you behind. Why not sit in second and accrue those points? He'll only lose 3. He's got more than 20 in hand. That's what you need to do to win a championship. Be smart as well as fast.
Well, what challenge there was from the 25 sled of DJ Ekstrom seems to have gone away. The battle remains right at the front with Morgan and Hibbert, and we'll be back. Welcome back to the Bud Light Pro Open Final at Grand Geneva Resort, Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. It's Morgan and Hibbert battling for the lead and for the championship. There's DJ Ekstrom. He is currently in 3rd place. Noel Kohansky is 4th. And Justin Tate sits back in 5th position.
Fairly comfortable 3rd spot right now for Ekstrom. There he is. And right there you see Noel. Although Noel now has cleared Tate a little bit and has made up some ground. But up front, boy, Blair Morgan, look at that. You notice that again, the back of that sled. That's the one downside, if you could call it that, with those skidoos, is that because they've got that center of gravity up in the air a little bit, because they're trying to get to that raised position on the seats and they're squeezing everything to the center of the sled. A little tail hat.
Tucker Hibbert doesn't have Blair Morgan under any true pressure right now. Still speculation whether or not his intent is just to let Blair Morgan go and be satisfied with where the points will come out, because they will still come out to the favor of Hibbert. But now Hibbert begins to make a move on the outside. We go back in the field. There's Tony Amasalo.
Well, Morgan, he almost offloaded again. He got a little crossed up. And as we watch that battle for the 5th spot as well, but that's, if Tucker sees that, if he can, he may be thinking,
got no choice.
Well, but apply some pressure on Morgan. Stay close. Remember, Morgan's tumbled in pro stock. He comes off again, and Tucker's this close. He's by, taking a run at him.
Tucker Hibbert tries Blair Morgan, tries him on the outside. Morgan begins to accelerate away. A little better off the corner. Hibbert drops back. Still stays in line with Morgan. Now this is down the hill where Morgan got in trouble in the pro stock race.
Did you notice, though, that Tucker got alongside Morgan, but did you notice how far away from Morgan he was? Good 3-4 feet, so there's no way that Morgan was going to be able to turn across on him, get in his way, clip his skis, create any problem. Tucker, if he can make the pass, he will, but he's going to do it with a wide safety margin.
You got a glimpse there of Tommy Amasalo and Justin Tate hammering at one another as they continue to do. Great little battle for 5th place.
Of course, Justin getting his first win and first 2 wins in WSA history for him this season. And same for Amasalo, who comes over from Europe. These 2 guys really have been the revelation of the season. And they've been battling just intensely for this 5th spot. Meanwhile, there's Noel, pretty lonely 4th right now.
Back at the front, Morgan then Hibbert. And the yellow flag out on the side of the course. No passing there in the battle that continues for 5th between Tate and Amasalo. Back to the leader.
Boy, again, you can see that Hibbert's pressure is keeping Morgan right on the edge. As he's getting a little crossed up in the air, not quite as fluid as we've seen him look, and that's because he's got to finish. And I hate to keep pounding at home, but he's got to finish in front of Tucker no matter what, and Tucker's close. And believe me, he can hear him. He knows he's there. He's seen him alongside. So Blair is pushing 11 tenths, 12 tenths right now.
You know, it's not so much that Tucker is pressuring as much as he is irritating Morgan. Yeah. He's just letting him know, I'm right here. You screw up, I'm past you, buddy.
And that's exactly the game he's got to play.
Whoa, almost. That could have been costly.
Yep, got up on top of that big berm and that hairpin, and I tell you, you get into on top of those piles. Remember, it's fairly warm, and there's such thick mealy snow, it just takes the momentum and you just sit and spin. It kills you, even on the big mods.
27, Tomi Amasalo continues to work on Justin Tate in that ongoing battle for 5th place.
See Amasalo there, bicycled up. I mean, this track is so rough and abusive, and yet Amasalo, he is so strong. He just kept her pinned.
Back at the front, Hibbert is back now, moving from irritation to pressure.
Swinging outside, looking inside. Morgan gets through the bottom of this hill, even though that's where he had his tumble. Look at that. He made up some ground coming out. Oh!
Back at the battle for 5th place. Amasalo challenges Tate.
And Tate just parked him on the outside of that. Oh, downhill, and Amasalo retaliates.
Amasalo goes dead in the water, gets the power back on, and now begins to chase Tate.
Boy, did Amasalo straight line out of that first big downhill and just straight lined up to the top of that first 180.
At the front, Morgan, Hibbert. Again, Hibbert's dropped back a little bit.
A little bit further back in the pack, there's 90. That's Pitlick, remember, out of the LCQ. And here comes Morgan and Hibbert, and they're moving into some lap traffic. And this, I mean, sometimes it's opportunity for the person who's given chase, because if the guy in the lead gets frozen out, it can make a big difference. But look at that, Pitlick gets way out of the way and lets his, manufacturer's same brand teammate go through in a hurry.
Yeah, it could be a dangerous moment for both as the white flag comes out with one more lap in the Pro Open final. And they clear traffic, and Tucker Hibbert closes a bit, but again, the objective appears to be to just keep Blair Morgan in sight and don't really get in a fight with him. It could be costly to your point. He's going to leave this race, Tucker Hibbert will, as the points leader by staying in 2nd place.
Boy, for a young guy, though, who wants to win more than anything in the world, what an exercise in self-discipline for Tucker Hibbert to not go and race Morgan.
But Tucker Hibbert, despite some miscues early in the season, throughout his career, that very mature discipline has been part of his style.
That's very true, and it's going to pay off right here.
So Blair Morgan takes the Pro Open final. Tucker Hibbert crosses in 2nd place. DJ Ekstrom finishes up in 3rd. Kohansky will come across the line in 4th. There's the 3rd place Ekstrom. And the points remain approximately the same despite the win by Blair Morgan. Morgan's done everything he can. Hibbert's doing what he needs to. Justin Tate finishes in 5th after that battle with the European champion, Tomi Amasalo. It's official, Morgan, Hibbert, Ekstrom, 1, 2, 3. We'll be back to talk with Blair Morgan right after this.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why they call him Superman. Unbelievable performance. The thing that kills me about Lake Geneva is it's such a cool track. I mean, you guys on the mods here, what a sight. Wide open, huge potholes.
Yeah, this is the best track of the year for sure. And, you know, it's uphills, downhills. You got nice corners. You got some right-hand corners for once even, too. So, yeah, I love it here. Sunny day. Can't ask for anything more.
Back-to-back wins. Lake Geneva, second to last race. It's kind of nice, huh?
Yeah, it's really nice. Just want to go out here and do what I have to do, win some races, and I think I've won the most races so far this year, and I think had some bad luck earlier this year, put me on the points. So I just want to go and win races for Ski-Doo.
Cool. Thanks.
Thanks, Jerry.
The entire season of racing is going to come down to the Nielsen Enterprises Grand Finale coverage on ESPN2 on Sunday night. We will have that coverage for you as the battle continues between Blair Morgan and Tucker Hibbert in virtually everything in WSA Snocross. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more on Snocross, log on to ESPN.com. It's been a full season and the battle rages on. Welcome to the final round of 2002 WSA Snocross, the Nielsen Enterprises Grand Finale from the Grand Geneva Resort, Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. And in both Pro Stock and Pro Open, two guys Tucker Hibbert, points leader. What a season he has had. And will he be able to defend his position on top of the points? And then, too, after a change over to Scheele, Blair Morgan, can he, in fact, get around Hibbert?
That change has been very successful. More wins in pro stock, but he missed one final, and that has been crucial in that points chase. But right now, really the story, and all eyes are on this gentleman, Aaron Scheele, right there, the salute that for so many years we've become so fond of and familiar with. This could be the last one as he is retiring at the end of this season. He's one of the few racers to excel in two very different disciplines. He started in Ice Le Mans racing and won 4 consecutive High Point Pro titles, getting the nickname the Iceman. He then has excelled in snowcross, and as he retires, we thought we'd look back.
First race I ever was in was a hill race, much like what we're doing now. We're just kind of standing on the hill, watching the race and kind of getting a feel for what's going on there. And the announcer said, "Now for our biggest class, Sport 600. Looked at my buddy, "That's us. That's us." Got on track, and I remember I was in like 3rd place, and I'm thinking, all right, I'm going to get some Arctic money, you know, some cat cash. I'm going to get some cat cash. Ended up getting passed for 4th, but nonetheless, I don't think I missed a race for a couple of years after that first one. And it was just like I was hooked immediately. As soon as you get on the line and you get the helmet on and the flag drops, that's when the butterflies come out. And you're out there with the best in the world, you know, and it's intense. And once you get moving, that's when it all happens. The start to the first turn is pretty much chaotic. Everybody's kind of just waving back and forth, banging, trying to get into that first turn. It's quite a feeling. You wonder how you're going to come out, what's going to happen next. But it's definitely an instinctive thing because there just isn't enough time to think about anything. Definitely miss the competition on the track. Probably the autograph sessions and walking through the pits with all the people. That's probably the main 2 things, though, is the people in the track. It almost seemed better to be a clean racer and to be a really thoughtful racer on the track, because when somebody did do something to you, all it took was a look, and they felt pretty bad about it because they know that I wouldn't do that intentionally back to them, you know, it would end there. I'll be sad that I'm missed, but it's a good feeling that I'm going to be missed because I left the right taste in everyone's mouth. And I guess I always felt that I'd rather be, if not be known for winning races, is to be known as a good guy and fair racer. Just had a good attitude about things.
Yeah, the Iceman has a lot to be proud of in his career. Well, now to the focus at hand, the battles for the championship. Tucker Hibbert, Blair Morgan. Look at this. We're ready for the LCQ, and because of some terrible qualifying, Tucker Hibbert's going to have to fight his way through the LCQ to make it to the final.
Unbelievable. 4th in the first heat and 8th in the second. His 25-point lead has shrunk to 15, and if he doesn't make this, and a false start to boot.
Aaron Scheele, Earl Reimer, both going to circle around with a false start.
Boy, to come from the back row, I mean, for Aaron Scheele, this could be his last appearance then, because it's going to be tough to crack the top 4 for that back row. That's a sad development.
So watching a couple of stories here. Scheele, but most certainly Tucker Hibbert.
There's Aaron Scheele, that red machine right at the back, doing the smart thing, just laying up a little bit, hoping that somebody might overdrive and squeeze underneath. And it looks like Reimer got a little bit better launch.
Field comes down the hill for the first time. It's Brad Pitlick out in front. Looking for Hibbert. And there he is, trying the outside. In the transfer spot right now.
He's 4th. That's Island, that blue Polaris right in front of him. The red machine to the right of your screen is Jesse Strag. And then, of course, out front, Pitlick. Those are your 4 transfer spots right now.
So he's going to have to be careful, Tucker Hibbert is, as you watch Pitlick come down as the leader. He needs to be in the top 4. He can afford no mistakes. To miss this final would be disastrous.
Oh, absolutely. With only a 15-point margin, if he doesn't make the final, if he doesn't make the cut, Morgan has to do is essentially finish in like the top 5, and it would give him the championship in that final. So Hibbert's got to be, he's got to be fast enough to be 4th or better, and be careful.
Hibbert gets a little pad now as he moves into 3rd place, but he is still in the midst of a lot of traffic, a lot of serious guys, and that position is a little precarious.
You got to think about the nerves he's feeling right now. He came in very strongly, 25 points, looking so good, and then a miserable round of qualifying, and he has excelled in qualifying. He's been so good in the qualifying rounds leading into this event to have it all fall apart now. You got to wonder about that young man's nerves.
Tucker Hibbert on the move now. Comes into 2nd place. And looks for the lead. Doesn't need the lead, only needs the transfer. But of course the lead keeps you away from trouble.
Well, right there, Island left a huge gap, and Tucker had a pretty good run down the hill, and so he just slotted in and took that spot. But you noticed he made sure he gave himself a lot of room, and he held on for what was a very crucial victory.
So, the day starts poorly with bad qualifying for Tucker Hibbert. Doesn't get all that much better, even though he wins the LCQ. He's got one race under his belt that he didn't really wish to run. Carl Kuster finishes in 4th place. There is the 4 transfers: Hibbert, Island, Brad Pitlick, and Carl Kuster.
And right here, look at this, Paul, the WSA, since it is Aaron Schieele's last race, since he didn't make the cut, have asked him to take a final lap of honor with the checkered flag to really culminate what has been a truly spectacular career with not only one of the best racers in the world, again, to excel at 2 different disciplines especially, but someone who has befriended this sport like few others. And interestingly, my career started announcing those ice races with Aaron long, long time ago. And I'll tell you, as a friend, he's going to be missed. Let's go down to Jerry.
All right, Aaron, how did it feel to ride around Lake Geneva knowing that was the last time you're going to be here?
We're going to miss it. Miss it worse next year, I'm sure. This is awesome, the reception, farewell, so to say. Probably won't hit me really till a little later on. Kind of bums me out that we jumped the start.
I was just going to say, I was going to nab you on that one.
Oh, man, I haven't jumped the start in years. I have to thank my buddy Earl for that one.
Yeah, whatever, right?
Yeah, right, that's racing, that's racing.
What about the fans? A lot of people cheering you on as you lapped around here.
It's awesome. I really don't know what to say. Other than thank you very much. I'm honored to be a part of it.
Well, I've only been here 2 years, so I can't say it was great to watch your career, but for the 2 years, I was stoked, had a good time. Sorry to see you go. Have fun.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It was awesome.
All right, buddy. Let's shake like politicians.
Yeah, Jerry, I think a lot of people, though, share the sentiment that with the Iceman gone, the series will be just a little different. Not worse, just different. So now we look ahead to a championship, the Pro Stock Final.
Well, it always comes down to the last race, and it's drama here in Lake Geneva for Tucker Hibbert. He had to go to the LCQ. He won that. Now he's going into the final race of the year, the Pro Stock Final. He has to get 5th or better. The kid's got a lot on his mind. Everybody's scurrying around. We're going to leave him alone. We're going to see how the drama unfolds here at Lake Geneva. Final race of the season in the stock division. It's going to be unbelievable, but Tucker Hibbert can do it.
So can Tucker Hibbert do it? He's not done well in qualifying. In by the LCQ. Can he win the championship? Welcome back to the Nielsen Enterprises grand finale for the WSA Snocross season. The kids and a few of the adults having a great time. Tucker Hibbert and his dad, the captain, talking over this final event. What's needed? What advice can that great veteran give him?
Well, Paul, one of the things that he's going to be offering some advice about is this track and how to get around it. Well, we're going to show you, of course, with 3D Racer. Here's the high angle. You can see great elevation changes here. Drop down to the right effect start line, and it is just a power blast up this hill. A little bit of a lip there, catch a little air, set up for the corner, sometimes in the air, make that 180, then the ski jump, drop down into the canyon. Look at the depth of these holes. They are immense. Outside seems to be a little bit quicker. Up to the top, a quick 180. At the second highest elevation, then a quick drop, and then this run across the side of the hill. Those are unbelievably deep holes. Then into the final turn. Very rough, but short on the inside, high speed and smooth on the outside, and over that Castle HJC finish jump.
It turns out to be a pretty good day. 26 degrees as the temperature in the Lenko snowmaking weather report. Light snow, cloudy sky. Ready for the Pro Stock Final, the one that will determine the championship. There's Justin Tate.
Sorry about that. He's fourth in points right now, but this has been the breakthrough year for him. As we said, 2 wins finally. After chasing it for a while, he has been unbelievable.
TJ Gula, he's had some moments of brilliance this year. 11th in the stock points, a 3rd and 2nd during the qualifying runs.
Good run for TJ, and of course that great run at the X Games. His confidence is pretty good right now. This is the guy who, remember, in the preceding round, which was held here at the same track, swept it, won both of them, and he is in need of doing that exactly again. Maximize points. It's absolutely crucial. He was undefeated in qualifying.
And then there's Trevor John. He's had some reasonable qualifying, currently 7th in Pro Stock points. He had a 5th and a 3rd in qualifying, so he certainly does have the potential. And then, of course, Tucker Hibbert. Currently the points leader, very narrow margin. He is going to have to race for the championship, as will Morgan.
And he's got to race out of that back row, and that is the absolute key here. One problem early, Paul, contact, tipped over, or whatever, he is in danger of perhaps losing this championship. He needs a top 10 finish to ensure it, but he's got to come through an awful stout path. There's the launch.
They stream up the hill. Ekstrom with a good move from the right side, comes across the front, takes the early lead.
Bobble right there. I mean, Hibbert almost went over, and Tate does go over.
Justin Tate in trouble, tries to get back on the sled, gets it going again. Hibbert did not get the start that I think he would have preferred, but by the same token, as we watch Hibbert, number 68, he's in trouble again.
Yeah, he had his ski, and it was up almost inside the tunnel of Carl Kuster's sled. Irony, coincidence, that Kuster is Morgan's teammate and didn't look to be in a big rush to get going again.
Field comes across the line at the conclusion of the first lap with Blair Morgan in 2nd place, chasing DJ Ekstrom. As you look up in the upper left-hand corner, Hibbert is not even on the top 5 board.
Oh, what a sweet move right there by Trevor John, trying to get back underneath Amasalo and couldn't quite get it done. And look at Morgan.
Here comes Morgan for the lead.
Well, that outside line has been a little quicker all weekend, and Morgan trapped DJ to the inside, and that allowed him, even though it was close, to just drive right around, ramp past him.
And what about Hibbert? Not in the top 5, not in the top 10, currently 13th. Now, Hibbert and the team are focused on 5th place. That's what they want in order to take a championship.
Absolutely right. They want to make sure, because if he and Morgan end up tied in points at the end of the day, Morgan gets the title because he's had more wins. So they're focusing on a spot a couple places, maybe even past where he needs, to make sure, make absolutely no mistake, that that championship is his. Pretty wise to give him a focus like that. The problem is, Paul, this track is rough and choppy and just brutal as it is. If you don't have your confidence, which after his qualifying rounds may be down, and you can't get that rhythm and everybody else is on form, this is by no means a done deal.
Now, the track is unpredictable. It can't be trusted. And everybody is fighting for points here as best they can. They all want to come away with better positions than they entered the run. Morgan in front has to defend from Ekstrom because Morgan needs the win. Ekstrom at the same time has to fight with Tony Amasalo. Trevor John just behind him. Carl Shabitsky just moved in 5th, coming around Kohanski. And Tucker Hibbert's got to move up every opportunity he gets.
And he's trying right here. He's trying to get around Nathan Titus, but you see how tough it was to get that pass made. And that's because of the rhythm. Now he's going to try 90 Pitlick, who gets squirrely in front of him, and that's going to slow Hibbert down. I mean, it's this kind of a battle all the way through. And I was going to mention, as Kohanski now gets back around Shabitsky, Kohanski's fighting for a top 5 in his championship.
And Hibbert having to ride in so much traffic, dangerous for him considering this course again and how tough it is. It is a long way to the 5th place he wants.
Boy, look at this group here. Amasalo, Trevor John, Noel Kohansky, Carl Shabitsky, 44 TJ Gula. The proverbial blanket covers this whole group.
Blair Morgan can do no more. He rides in the lead. That's what he needs.
That's Amasalo, Paul, and that's for second. And he makes it stick.
Oh, Amasalo to second around DJ Ekstrom. And Ekstrom gets passed by Trevor John as well.
I was going to say, I think Amasalo's pass got DJ offline a little bit, messed up his focus and his rhythm, and Trevor wasting no time. Look at Noel working him over too.
Morgan in front, well in front now. Hibbert in the fight for the championship, has to come through this field, needs 5th place.
Now, Ekstrom, remember, he came into this 3rd in points, and he's dropping a little bit. He's back to 5th, and Kohansky, who's 5th in points, he may have a shot at this yet. If DJ struggles, Noel can, if he can ride well, who knows?
Well, Kohansky got around DJ for 4th place. Now Tucker Hibbert, 11th, 6 more positions. Time running out. A very precarious championship here.
And look how long it took him. And he still has not even cracked the top 10. That's what I was talking about if your confidence is off just a little bit, instead of doubling or tripling those holes, you might normally not even worry about. Now you're tentative. Yeah, I don't know if I can clear that. I'm not going to try it. And that kills your speed. Look at this.
Well, he can't be tentative now. He has to do this kind of stuff. He's got to fight. He's got to get in there and shove people aside. The championship is on the line. Blair Morgan has it right now. Hibbert is going to have to take it back away from him.
And that was the second time he got into some contact with Kuster, trying to get by Kuster again. Of course, Morgan's teammate, Kuster, doesn't have to make it easy. He just has to make it possible. And Tucker was willing in that case. He said, you're going to shove, I'm shoving back, I'm coming through.
Morgan style out in front, leading and pulling away. Takes a look back and look at the distance. Simply to 2nd place, Tony Amasalo. There's Trevor John. It's a long way back to Tucker Hibbert.
It's just unbelievable when you include the racing that we transferred from Michigan. Morgan has been perfect. He has not lost a qualifying heat, and he has won those 2 when he's leading here. Look at this here. Amasalo now. Pretty good open up here, because this battle for 3rd between John and Kohansky, these 2 are racing each other furiously.
Continuing to track Tucker Hibbert, currently 8th, trying to move forward. Once 5th, once the championship. This is going to be close.
What a sweet move there by Kohansky. Then Trevor countered, then Kohansky, now it's Trevor. They both ride Polarises, but this is not teamwork right now. This is an all-out brawl.
That's TJ Gula in 5th place on the cat that you see from time to time. You know, a lot of Tucker Hibbert fans want that cat to be Hibbert. It is not. But Hibbert steadily trying to move forward. He's now 7th with 4 laps to go.
Boy, he's closing in on that 5th that they're aiming for. Here we go, up to the front. Morgan, big lead. By the way, that battle between Kohansky and John, Trevor John came in 6th in the points, just a handful behind Noel, so that has implications as well. Look at the line right there that Morgan used. Thing of beauty, up the hill, little brake turn right to the throttle once he got the back end loosened up. Just an awesome corner. Meanwhile, here comes Trevor John.
Trevor John, Noel Kohansky fight one another. Amasalo sits alone in 2nd. TJ Gula is 5th. Right behind Kohansky, here comes Hibbert.
Hibbert still sitting in that 7th spot and has not been able to get by Island. Watch for this right here. That's Gula still. You pointed that out. You may think Hibbert, but no, that's Gula in 5th. Then it's Island. Then it's Hibbert.
3 laps to go. Time is running out for Tucker Hibbert. Blair Morgan has the lead. Right now, he has a loose grip on the championship.
Morgan is gone, dominant. He's fulfilling everything he had to do coming in here. Now it's really up to Hibbert. There's Island, but where's Tucker? There he is. Boy, he's just not able to close up on Island.
The championship slowly slipping away from Tucker Hibbert. Very little opportunity now. It may belong to Morgan, but of course it is not over yet. It's not until that final checkered flag of the season comes out.
Tucker on that downhill run, trying to throw in some of those big doubles to make up some ground, and it's just not, although he did make up some, he's about half that distance now to Island. He's at least closing in.
98, Mike Island sits just ahead. 2 to go. 2 to go to a championship. Blair Morgan's grip on the championship gets just a little tighter.
There goes Kohansky going for Trevor. Meanwhile, we drop back, and Hibbert, 7th. He's been 7th. Every time we check, he's 7th. But he's closer. Oh, Island almost came off. That could have cost some momentum. Can Hibbert capitalize?
Tucker Hibbert is in a theoretical position for the championship. Oh! Island says, come on, pass me. You need this position. Tucker Hibbert answers.
Island waved him by, and I think he realized Tucker in this battle for the championship, he just waved him through, said, I don't want to take a guy out who's going for the championship. Talk about sportsmanship, letting Hibbert go through, not interfering with a very crucial points battle.
Tucker Hibbert to 6th place. Hibbert now looking for TJ Gula. Hibbert now gets a much more firm grip on the championship himself as the white flag comes out and 1 lap to go. Tucker Hibbert now understands quite clearly what he needs for the championship, but so does Blair Morgan. How will it come out at the end of this lap?
There's Hibbert right behind Gula, the other Arctic cat. Then Trevor John. You know, Island, a rookie this year, first full year in the circuit. I think he wanted to make sure people respected him in the future, didn't get in the way of this great championship battle. Morgan may have wished he reacted a little differently, but nonetheless, there's Blair. Look at the margin.
Now look at Hibbert.
Oh!
Hibbert makes a quick move to the inside of Gula. Blair Morgan takes the win. It's up to Tucker Hibbert.
They are side by side. What's Hibbert gonna do?
Hibbert comes way wide on the outside. Guns it coming off the corner.
Oh!
5th place in the championship.
He actually got 4th. He got him right at the line, Paul, 4th, and look at the reaction. Champion.
Morgan wins the run.
Look at the relief.
Tucker wins the championship. Oh, was that great? And it all came about in the final laps.
That last corner run, he went from 6th to 4th, and it was just that outside line. I don't think he lifted from the time he turned into that corner.
Everybody seems happy about Tucker Hibbert, save the possibility of one small group led by Blair Morgan. But Blair did everything he needed to do. He won. It wasn't good enough. 4th certainly was for a championship for young Tucker Hibbert.
And Paul, the gentleman on the back of Tuck's sled is his mechanic, Russ Ebert, who's been with Tucker and the Hibberts for a long time and instrumental in the success of this young lad.
DJ Ekstrom, after a great start, had reported trouble with his shocks. He finishes down in 10th place. So it's Morgan, Amasello, Kohansky, and Hibbert. And in Morgan and Hibbert, there's the story of the championship. Tucker finished exactly where he needed. Let's go to Jerry Bernardo.
Blair, once again, drama right to the last round here at Lake Geneva. Everyone was focused on Tucker's struggle in the back, but nobody can take away how you've won races all year long.
Yeah, I've won like twice as many races as anybody else, and it's just too bad. I had some bad luck earlier in New York, and I missed the whole final, and I still almost won. So I'm pretty happy with that. Being able to go out there and win most of the time, and just do good. To thank Skidoo and Woody's and everybody that helped me out, Oakley, Fox. It's been a good year, and just too bad I couldn't get a championship for him.
Congratulations, it was fun. I had a good time, man.
Yeah, I had a good time too.
And so did we. But maybe the best time is had by Tucker Hibbert, who is the new Pro Stock champion. We'll be back to talk with him right after this.
Tucker, you made everybody grit their teeth, your whole team, including yourself. Big drama, got in the LCQ, had to get 5th or better. You were dead last for like first 3 laps. What were you thinking?
I don't know. I was like, man, what am I doing back here? But just put it together. You know, my dad told me before the race, if you get caught behind a bunch of people, just slow down, find some lines, and then attack. You know, so slowed down, just found some good stuff, and I went after him.
How does it feel to be Il Campione, the champion in the stock class?
Feels awesome. We missed it last year, had a lot of bad luck. This year, Arctic Cat coming out with this new sled to bring home a championship for them guys is huge, and I've never been so excited in my life. This is awesome.
You had to fight for it, though, seriously. I mean, you didn't have the luck you wanted all year long. You had to come from the back a lot.
Yeah, you know, I figured starting the back row here in this final, I had to make it up in the top 7. Every race I've ever been in this year, I've started dead last and made it up to first or second, so I figured, you know, we should have a pretty good chance, so it went good.
Well, congratulations. It was a good year.
I won it, yeah!
You bet you did, Tucker. You're the Pro Stock champion.
Unbelievable run for him, and he mentioned he needed, they figured around 7th, but you don't want to risk that tie and lose it on the wins. So as a result, they shot for 5th, and boy, he got 4th. Unbelievable last corner. There's the final points. Championship is his.
Took a whole season to get there. Well, when we come back, we're going to take a look at some of the semi-pros and some guys that'll be great rookies next year. Welcome back to the Grand Geneva Resort, Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. We've determined the Pro Stock champion. We're going to be talking about Pro Open in a minute. But first, it's time for Inside Cross with Greg Kramer. Inside Cross is brought to you by Ride FX. Ride hard. We can take it.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the season's last Inside Cross. It's sort of been traditional over the years that our last Inside Cross, we take a look at some of the up-and-coming superstars in the sport, the guys that might just be the big name in the pro ranks. And it seems only fitting this year that we start our visit with Levi Lavallee. Now, it's unfortunate. We'd much rather see Levi out on the track doing what he does best, going fast and airing it out. Had a bad knee injury a couple of races back. At the time, though, Levi, you were the runaway point leader in the semi-pro stock division, right in the hunt in semi-pro open. Obviously, your season's parked. You're not going to get the championship, but you've told people a few things about what you're capable of. Our question is, we think you're ready. Are you ready? You going to pro next year?
It's still up in the air. I don't know. I've been talking to Polaris, and we're kind of going back and forth on it. I guess we'll see next year.
You got to feel pretty good, even though with the knee injury, you're not going to get the championship. As I said, people know that Launch and Levi can get the job done.
Yeah, I guess I've had a pretty good season, and people realize that I got speed, and who knows, maybe I'll be in that pro class with them next year.
Mr. Kurt Peterson, you are now a semi-pro. It is the last race of the year. Next year, are you going to go pro?
Yeah, next year we are definitely going to go up to pro.
Yeah, stepping up. What's up with that?
I think it'll be fun. I think it'll make me get faster, and it'll be fun to run with the big boys.
Stephen Taylor, member of the Blair Morgan Posse. What's the scoop? You going to go pro next year or what?
I'm not sure. I think I'm going to stay semi-pro again next year. I think Stu wants a semi-pro championship, so hopefully I can do it for him next year.
Yeah, and you get to race on the Blair Morgan team. That can't be too bad.
No, that's awesome.
Matt, are you going to go pro next year or stay in the semi-pro rank?
Well, I'm not sure yet. We've been discussing it, and I'm in the championship running for the semi-pro stock, and hopefully I'm going to win that, and then we'll probably seriously consider that.
Thanks, bud.
Thank you very much.
So there's a look at some of the future of WSA Snocross racing. How about that question of the week to our webpage?
And now it's time for Question of the Week. If you want to send in your question, link through the WSA Racing website and go to Question of the Week. Now to the question. John from Pittsburgh wants to know, what driver makes you stop and look?
Usually, like, Todd Wolf is good about stuff like that. He can find lines that people don't see.
Pro women's, man, they're awesome. Any woman that can jump the same as us guys is just wild, man.
Crapo, Titus, Wolf. First you. What rider makes you stop and watch on the track?
Definitely like Morgan and Tucker. Blair's about my favorite person to watch. I'd have to go with Tucker and Blair.
You know somebody picked you?
Oh, I can't believe that.
Can you believe Tate actually thought of that all by himself? Because, sometimes up he's a little...
I'd have to say the top 2 guys for the year, probably Blair and Tucker.
Oh, Blair.
Blair Morgan.
Why?
He looks very cute on his snowmobile.
7C. Come to Finland with me.
Because they know that the Pro Open finale is coming up. Welcome back to Lake Geneva, Wisconsin for the Pro Open. With 5 wins this season, Blair Morgan is looking very strong. But Tucker Hibbert comes into this event with a very strong lead and needs only finish 10th or better in order to win the Pro Open title as well. So he's got to be careful, but he can win the championship fairly easily. DJ Ekstrom.
Ekstrom, of course, a great story this season as well. He comes in once again trying to get a top 3 in this championship in this category as well.
There's the lineup for the Bud Light Pro Open final. The last race of the season, the one that will determine the championship.
Both Hibbert and Morgan undefeated in their qualifying round, so that 25-point margin that they came into this race with, they maintained through qualifying. Thus, that 10th or better for a lock for Hibbert.
And a must-win for Blair Morgan, while at the same time hoping that Tucker Hibbert does not fare well. Trouble coming up the hill, regains his sled.
Boy, Hibbert right there, he just got caught in a huge squeeze play, and once again, I can't believe it, Paul, he's out of the top 10. Oh, contact with Gonzalo.
In trouble again. There are actually 4 of them bottled up in the corner, and Hibbert is one of them. Looks like Wolf may be another.
Oh, that is unbelievable. Exactly what Hibbert could not and did not want to have happen. Out to the front again. Boy, has Ekstrom had hole shots this whole event. Unbelievable. Hibbert still is not free of Wolf.
They're trying to get the sleds apart. Is this the end of a championship for Tucker Hibbert? He's ready to go as soon as they can get the sleds clear.
Meanwhile, look at Morgan. He's wasting no time. He's trying to get to the front right now. They still can't get him cleared.
Now even Tucker gets in it. Championship could be done for Tucker Hibbert.
There it is.
He's now 1 lap down as DJ Ekstrom comes by with Blair Morgan in pursuit. And Morgan clearly understands that that incident for Hibbert could be his championship.
Finally, Hibbert clear. He is now moving. Morgan, meanwhile, got around Kohanski. Hibbert not only dead last, Paul, but down a lap.
Yeah, but is he okay? You see how slowly he pulled away. He's checking himself, checking the sled. Here's the front. Morgan on the charge. Oh, goodbye.
Oh, look at that. Did you see him? He caught the air, carried all that mod power over that lip, rotated the sled in the air as he went around the outside of DJ, and he's off.
Morgan's off the sled. Both the championship contenders in trouble. Not with the skill that we saw earlier where he was able to regain himself immediately. Morgan finally gets it going again, but he's dropped back to 4th.
Boy, from an absolutely glorious move on that uphill pass to the off, and watch what happens here. Just running down, and it just got away from him. That unpredictableness of this track hit that one lip just awkwardly, and it just really lost his focus and his grip. Right there, hand came off. Bang, you're done.
Oh, that was a nasty little bounce, too. Really jerked his head. Morgan immediately back to his feet, immediately back on the sled, but falls to 4th place in doing so. Ekstrom is back on point. Noel Kohanski, 2nd. Karl Shabitsky sits 3rd.
Then Morgan, then Amasalo, and for Hibbert, the thing now is this is not so much just in Hibbert's hands, Paul, because being a full lap down on almost the whole field, not only does he have to get through him, then he's got to get through him again. He needs help in terms of attrition. He needs other riders to have problems, and you don't want to throw it to the fates like that.
Well, we had a couple of those guys involved in that. He needs the 10th. The 10th may be beyond the 1 lap line. It may ultimately exist in everybody a lap down. Morgan, he's taking no chances. Look at this run on Shabitsky.
Oh!
Oh, man!
Absolute thing of beauty. I thought he was going to try and go around the outside of Kohanski, and suddenly checked up, went underneath, just like that.
Look at that, boy. You talk about a man possessed, a man driven for the championship. Now in 2nd place, Blair Morgan.
He is not dallying about. unbelievable, the attack to get back to the front after that rear off. And I'll tell you what, one thing about Morgan, when he has it off like that, he takes that red mist and all of that turns it into pure focus.
Now working on DJ Ekstrom, the leader. Both on ski-doos, though two entirely different teams. And there's Hibbert, way, way back in 12th.
So he
needs the 10th.
You're absolutely right. And the other riders that were involved in that incident, notably, of course, Wolf, that's the one that Hibbert was going to get fairly quickly if he could get it. A couple other guys, that lap was well adrift for them as well. So, but boy, he's got to go. He's got to ride probably the race of his life.
Well, in pro stock, Hibbert faltered but won the championship. Can he do it again? We'll see when we return. Welcome back. The spotlight is on this man, Tucker Hibbert. Sits back in 12th place at the halfway point in this run with his nemesis Blair Morgan up in 2nd place. Well, two things have to happen. Blair Morgan really needs the win. Tucker Hibbert needs at least a 10th if he wants to take a championship away from Blair Morgan. Right now, it's DJ Ekstrom that is running in the lead. He's got a pretty good lead on Morgan, though. We have seen Morgan just cut that lead to nothing on other people throughout the year. Can he do it again?
And the significance of that change from 1st to 2nd, a 3-point difference. 3-point difference from 1st to 2nd. What that does is if he is at Morgan's 2nd, maybe at 12th would be good enough for Hibbert. If Morgan wins, it's got to be 10th. If it's 11th, Morgan wins the championship because of more wins in the tiebreaker. So Morgan getting by Ekstrom here is huge in terms of Morgan and putting a lot more pressure on Tucker.
Yeah, assuming that he can in fact get that done. Morgan works on Ekstrom now. Downhill section. Morgan's twice been in trouble on the downhill runs. Once on his pro stock sled, also on his mod. Look at this move. Booms in, comes right up underneath Ekstrom. Now, can he do it here? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, he can. Morgan takes the lead.
That first move when he got inside, if you remember a couple races back, he and Ekstrom got together and he came off. This time he got in there. He didn't. There's a yellow flag. Nakazawa apparently has gone off, so there's a no passing zone. There's Yuji's sled. But Morgan got in there, just gave Ekstrom a little nudge to let him know he was there and he was fast, and then he came streaming up the inside in the next turn. Ekstrom knew he was had and let him go.
Yuji's obviously okay. Morgan now the leader. Ekstrom 2nd, and Amasalo and Kohanski.
So that puts the pressure squarely on Tucker now to crack the top 10 somehow, some way to get it done. And you may wonder, folks, Morgan comes in here 5 wins to Hibbert's 2. Remember, they accrue points in qualifying, where Hibbert has been just as good as Morgan. The big difference is Morgan missed a final. Well, didn't miss it, actually. He started it, but broke. And as a result, that is why he is so far back in the points. He had a no points finish. And Hibbert is 10.
Hibbert is 10th. That's what he needs. 10th or better against the Morgan win, and Hibbert is the champion. Wow, is he going to do it in both classes?
By the slight hair on his chin. That's that close in both if he does pull it off.
And it's not over.
No, not at all. But there's Amasalo sitting in 3rd. Kohanski still in chase mode here, and of course, Noel Kohanski once again working a top 5 point scenario here, coming in here trying to stay at least in the top 5 in points, if not improve on it. But that mechanical failure for Morgan, it was just a very rare deal. Just lunched an engine at the absolute wrong time, and that's with that big point swing. I mean, that's how intense the competition is now. One problem in a final, and it can really skew things.
Yeah, it tells you something about equity in WSA, that just that one little bobble, and the championship is gone. That's Earl Reimer, that Morgan just was able to move out and around, put a lap down. That changes nothing in the championship. At this moment, Tucker Hibbert is the champion. Something is going to have to go wrong with Hibbert for Morgan to win the championship. Amasalo 3rd place behind Ekstrom.
Boy, and you can see the gap that Morgan and Ekstrom have opened up over Amasalo. That battle, that ride of Ekstrom's, even though he's second to Morgan right now, still has been one of extreme speed and very impressive.
Riding easily now. Blair Morgan, he's done everything he can. It's up to Tucker to lose. What a beautiful display, though. Blair Morgan is so fun to watch.
Just floats. I mean, when he's on, there's no more graceful and smooth a rider, and that translates into speed. There's no question about it.
So the white flag out to everybody. The championship is one lap away from being decided. Hibbert's still exactly where he needs to be.
But you make the point, one mistake, one little mechanical problem or whatever, that can change. Hibbert has got to keep after it here. But Morgan, perfect almost on the weekend.
A beautiful, beautiful run for Blair Morgan. Back-to-back wins. Here comes DJ Ekstrom. He finishes in second place. And Tommy Amasalo is going to run for the line in third. Hibbert still in 10th, still where he needs to be.
That's just going to be enough, and I mean just. Here comes Amasalo. What a great season. That big win at the first Canterbury put him on the map, and he's been an absolute revelation. And there is Ekstrom, but we're waiting for Tucker to cross the line. 6 Pro Open wins for this guy this season. Dominant in the wins column. Just those 2 missed finals.
Yeah, it takes a great deal more. And finishing 9th place, Tucker Hibbert, the new champion in Pro Open.
Sort of a reserve celebration. I think he realizes that this was a very, very close call. Champion or not. There's Todd Wolf, the guy that they got together with.
Whoa, that was close. It almost cost me a lot. Wow. Tucker Hibbert is the champion in both Pro Stock and Pro Open, despite incredible rides by Blair Morgan to win in both categories. There's the official results. Morgan, Ekstrom, Amasalo, top 3 in Pro Open.
And Tucker Hibbert getting 9th after that incident. I mean, the kid never gave it up and kept pushing, kept racing. So you have to give him some credit. But for Blair Morgan, as we take a look at Amasalo, another podium. What a great season for him. You take a look at Morgan. Aside from a 4th place finish in one of the rounds from the replacement race from Gaylord, in one of the qualifying rounds, he has won everything. That's 12 times Morgan's hit the track this weekend and has 11 wins. You can't accomplish a mission better than that. Let's go to Jerry.
Blair, I'm going to tell everyone right now why they call you Superman. Because you go out and you win almost half of all the races. Telling everyone in the world, recognize 7C.
Yeah, feels good. Winning half of the races this year. Still getting second, though. Hopefully that tells people what could have happened. So it was close, you know. I missed like a whole race, and I still almost won both classes. So I feel pretty good about that. You know, I'm not going out there thinking I'm second best.
When you slid off the Arctic Cats, made the move over to Ski-Doo, some questions were raised. You proved everyone wrong.
Yeah, there was. There's a lot of smack talk going around, but I don't know. It's just I'm still the same person. Try my best all the time, and worked out well.
How about the sponsors? A lot of people who helped out through the course of the year. You have your own race team, but everybody else is there for you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Ski-Doo by far, you know, winning more than half the races this year. Obviously, awesome machinery, and you know, CNA Pro Skis, Woody's Traction Products, Oakley Goggles, Fox Racing, right down to my helmet painter, Bob Schmutz, looking at the fly helmets, and yeah, it's just a great year.
You're going to be back. Are you going to be back? Or you're just going to go race like dirt bikes or something?
Well, I'm going to go race dirt bikes for a while, but I'll be back.
And then you stay in training.
That's right, yeah, for sure. I think a full-on season of moto for the summer would get me in good shape for the Snocross again.
Cool.
Thanks, Jerry.
Happy race winner, Blair Morgan, congratulations. But what about the champion? You know he's got to be happy as well. We'll talk with Tucker Hibbert when we come back. Well, after the season-long run, here are the Pro Open points with Tucker Hibbert taking the win over Blair Morgan in a closely fought battle throughout the season. Let's send you again to Jerry Bernardo.
Did you have fun this year?
I sure did, Jerry.
Are you happy to win 2 number 1 plates?
I'm very happy.
Are you happier than DJ Ekstrom, who never gets excited?
I am, yes, very, very excited.
Praise your team.
Thank you, team. Thank you.
All the sponsors.
And sponsors.
You got to name a few.
Mom and Dad, they're the biggest sponsor. And Articat, Chevy.
What about you? Mechanics.
My mechanic, Russ, and truck driver, Dean, Steve Wool from Speedworks. Everybody. Everyone worked so hard this year, and so where it brought us 2 championships.
And I'd like to thank myself, Tucker Hibbert, because I am so rad I can run jewelry.
I suppose, no. Thanks my mom, too. She makes mean cookies, and you should thank her, too.
No. Mrs. Hibbert, thank you for the cookies. I got chocolate chip cookies, and I love you. Oh, I said I love you, and she's married.
Mrs. Hibbert, where's our cookies? Oh, well, congratulations to Tucker Hibbert.
2 championships. The story, there are 20 finals this season, and Tucker made every one of them. That was the difference in the points. Even though he didn't get the wins he may have wanted. 18 top 5s, 15 podiums. Doesn't get a whole lot better than that.
So Tucker Hibbert, the champion again. And we say goodbye to guys like Aaron Scheele.
We also just received word, another legend, the Flying Finn Tony Heikkinen, who absolutely rewrote the sport in 1994, has also decided to retire.
What a fun season in WSA Snocross. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more on WSA Snocross, log on to ESPN.com.